Hey guys, welcome to another Thursday edition of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. You know, I haven't done a video in a while talking about some of my more recent pickups. So today I'm going to talk about, I think there's like 3 or 4 albums I'm going to talk about that that I picked up recently that I've really been getting into. And then there's also an album that I picked up that when I first got it, brought it home, I thought it was a huge quality control issue, but it actually ended up being something completely different. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on that link down below and go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. Like I said, every week it's just a cool place to continue the music conversation. There's also a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page. There's a couple of new t-shirt designs on there. There's also sweatshirts available on there. There's also a link for the Vinyl Den Patreon page. If you want to support the show, it's always greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. Like I said in the beginning, there's a couple of albums that I've really been getting into lately that I picked up. Actually, a couple of these I have other versions of them on vinyl, but I haven't listened to them in a while. So, and I needed newer copies or newer versions of them came out. So I'm going to talk about them, and then I'll get to that album that I thought it was a big quality control issue, but like I said, it ended up being something completely different. The first one, this is Ready for Freddie. This is part of the Blue Note Classic series. This is Freddie Hubbard. This was originally released in 1962. It's got a really good lineup on there. You get, obviously, Freddie Hubbard, but you got Wayne Shorter's on here, Bernard McKinney, McCoy Tyner, Art Davis, Elvin Jones. Just a great lineup. This was, I think, Freddie's 4th album with Blue Note, and this is kind of, I think, pretty widely regarded as his best album. That at least his best album that he fronted. So, because he's done a lot of side work also over the years. Also, he's on a bunch of great albums. But you guys know I'm a big jazz fan, so I've really been enjoying this. Really, anything from the Blue Note Classic series has been absolutely fantastic. And actually, the Blue Note Tone Poet series also. Tone Poet series, they tend to run a little bit more than the Classic series do. I think I picked this thing up for $25, which I think is a good price for new vinyl, at least with the rising cost of everything over the last year or so. These have stayed pretty relatively cheap. So if you are just getting into jazz, definitely check out the not only Freddie Hubbard, Ready for Freddie, but also anything from the Blue Note Classic series. Another one that I've been enjoying since I picked it up, and I really didn't know if I was going to pick this one up or not. I kind of went back and forth. I thought about getting the box set. I thought about getting nothing since I've already got, 2 or 3 copies of it already. But I decided to pick up the new Let It Be reissue by the Beatles. Let It Be is probably it's definitely in my top 3 as far as Beatles albums go. So I kind of went back and forth on whether or not to grab it. Because like I said, I've got the 2012 was the latest reissue. And then I've got an original pressing. And I think I might have one other one. I'm not really sure. I know I at least have 2 other copies of this. So like I said, I went back and forth. I considered getting that box set. For the price of it, I decided I really couldn't pull the trigger on it because I really didn't know if I was going to listen to the extra material enough to justify the price on it. But like I said, I got this thing for, I don't know what it was, less than $30. So like I said, I went back and forth on whether or not to grab this. But I think Giles Martin did such a great job with the remastered remixing of the White Album And that version of the White Album is probably my favorite version of the White Album. It sounds absolutely incredible, even compared to some of the other pressings I have of the White Album. And because of how great that sounded, I decided to grab this. And, to be completely honest, I didn't hear a huge difference between this and the version from 2012, but there is a noticeable enough difference that this has, I think, a better overall sound than the 2012. So if you don't have a copy of Let It Be, I think this is definitely a great one to grab just because how great it does sound. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you won't be surprised by this next one. You know I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. So, of course, I grabbed a copy of the new remixed and remastered Momentary Lapse of Reason, which a Momentary Lapse of Reason is not one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. I've long considered this more of a David Gilmour solo album than a Pink Floyd album because, Nick Mason really wasn't involved with the recording of this. He brought in a lot of different other drummers to play on this album. Richard Wright wasn't really a part of the album or recording process. He wasn't a full member of the band until after the release of this album. If you don't know, Richard Wright was kicked out of the band during the recording of The Wall. So he wasn't a full member of Pink Floyd again until after the release of this. So, he didn't really have much input on this. David Gilmour brought in a lot of other outside writers. And, like I said, it never really had that Pink Floyd feel to me. And when they remastered this for the later years box set that came out in 2019, Nick Mason went back and re-recorded the drums for this. So I think overall this has if you're comparing this to say I've got the 2016 remaster here. If you're comparing the two, I think this one has a better overall sound, even though there's not a huge difference between the two. I think the re-recording of Nick Mason's drums gives it a better overall sound than the older pressings does. So I knew I was going to grab it, just because I'm a completionist, but I already have the other copy I have. I actually have a copy of this because I picked up a bootleg copy of it, if I hold it the correct way. I think I got this from Roland Records, I believe, earlier this year when they released this. So, I don't know. I already had a copy, so I really was interested in comparing the two. And there is a very similar sound between the two. Obviously, the new official release is on 45 RPM. Sounds absolutely fantastic. It's got a great dynamic range to it. The unofficial pressing, it's definitely like a lot of bootlegs. It's got a quieter sound to it. It doesn't sound as great as this does. So I'm definitely glad that I grabbed a copy of this. If you don't have a copy of Momentary Lapse of Reason, this is definitely the one to grab, because this, like I said, over the other two pressings that I have, over the original sound of the album, I think, like I said, Nick Mason's drum work makes it a better overall sound. Even though, like I said, it's not a huge difference between the original. This one just sounds absolutely fantastic. The packaging is great on it. It comes with a nice booklet, so it's a fantastic album. Even though, like I said, it's not one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. If I actually had to rank my Pink Floyd albums, it's probably down towards the bottom of the list. But for what it is, this is definitely the best sounding version of it available. So I'm also a big fan of the Eagles, and I had all of their studio albums. The only one I was missing was their debut album, and I know the MoFi version just came out, and I really couldn't spend the whatever it was, $130. I think I was at just my local record store just a week back, and I want to say it was like $140 in the store. So I really couldn't pay that kind of money, even though I know that MoFi is going to sound absolutely incredible. So I know that. So Walmart did released their own exclusive versions of the Eagles studio albums, and there wasn't really anything different, at least like as far as like remastering or anything like that. They were just like standard black versions of the albums. The only thing different was it came with like a laminated, like backstage kind of pass with the album. So I figured if I was out in the store, I'd grab a copy if I saw it. So that came out, I want to say probably a month or so back. And I was in my record store, like I said, just recently, and came across an older pressing. This is not a first press. I think this is a second press, from the 70s. But this is just a standard, copy of the debut album. I want to say I paid like $7 for this thing. So it wasn't really all that expensive. Sounds great. I figured it would do the job until if and when I came across that Walmart exclusive version. So someone in the Vinyl Den Facebook group posted within the last several days that their local Walmart had restocked a whole bunch of albums. And I haven't been to any of my local Walmarts in a while to look through records. That's about the only thing I ever go to Walmart for. But so I figured I'd stop out. I was out with my son. And so we decided to stop in our local Walmart just to kind of see what they had. And I was kind of flipping through, and they had a copy of the Eagles debut album, the Walmart exclusive. And like I said, this is I'll show you the little pass that comes with it. Kind of cool. It's something that really doesn't, You know, it's not this kind of stuff doesn't really make me want to buy an album. It just happened to be something that was included. Like I said, just a little pass. Houston, Texas. Okay, cool. Something I'll throw in the jacket and probably really never look at again. So I got this thing home, and it sounds great. It's a great pressing of it. Like I said, it's I guess that's the thing that really matters is the sound quality of the album. Sounds absolutely fantastic. But when I saw this at the store, I noticed that I'm sure you can see it in the video here, but like the edge of it was sticking out. I thought it was like the inside jacket sticking out of the album. It happens sometimes when it gets manufactured, wrapped up, it just kind of slides out of the jacket a little bit. Didn't really think much about it. Got it home, opened it up, and realized that it wasn't the inner sleeve. I realized that this thing, it's not glued together. So right off the bat, I was thinking to myself, that's a really terrible quality control issue, because obviously that's something that should be caught. And I was getting ready to take this back to the store. I mean, I guess I kind of went back and forth. I was like, oh, well, I could keep it because the album sounds fantastic. It's going to go in a sealed outer sleeve anyway, so you're never really going to see it or notice that it's separated anyway. I've had used albums come like that before, where the glue separated on it, and I had to like re-glue it together. So I kind of thought maybe I'd do that, or maybe I'd take it back. And so I got online and started looking it up, and I realized that this is not a quality control issue. This is supposed to replicate the original first pressing of this album. And I guess if I really would have looked at this, I would have realized what it was. Because if you open up, so this is the front of it. If you open it up, the inside picture's upside down. That's because, and this is really kind of a weird thing, even for when this album first came out with 73, 72, whatever it was, early 70s. But the first pressings of this album, the jacket actually folds out into a big poster, which I guess is kind of cool, but what do you do with your record? It's like, I guess you can just like buy, I guess the early 70s, it really didn't matter. You would just like put it in a different sleeve and just stick it up on the shelf, if anyone even used this poster. And the reason why I didn't even know that was a thing is I've never actually owned this album on vinyl until I found this used copy in my record store. And this is not a gatefold. It's just a standard jacket, and it has this picture on the back of it. So I didn't really even know that the gatefold originally, or with this Walmart exclusive, folds out into a poster. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think it's kind of strange. I really would have preferred them to if you're going to reissue it in a gatefold, just do the same artwork that's on this. You can use the same picture that's on the inside, use the picture that's off of the back of the standard jacket, and just kind of call it a day. Because, like I said, it looks kind of funky the way it sits in the sleeve, because it's not really lined up all that well. Like I said, I've folded it, and it's still kind of not all that aligned properly. So I don't know. I mean, it's great to have it. I thought it was really funny, kind of when I was going through this album, looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never actually seen a new album this poorly constructed, I think. And I just thought it was really funny, because like I said, I was gonna post about it online and return the album, and lo and behold, it was designed this way. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. I don't know, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about that Pink Floyd release, about the Eagles release here, about the gatefold. Like I said, it's kind of a strange kind of a thing. I don't know who's going to really waste the gatefold jacket and use it as a poster. Yeah, I get it. They're trying to recreate the original release. I'm not really sure how well it works for like a new release, though. But let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and come back and check out the show on Sunday. Well, that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.